Hi, welcome again to the second conversation with my artist friends. This is Georgia speaking. I'm the host of this beautiful time together, hosting artists, but friends mostly, that they come along to say a bit of their stories or to introduce themselves as an artist and to talk about their path. So I'm very, very happy that today I'm going to introduce you a real friend. It's a woman. It's a woman that I really like a lot. She's very empathic. She's very sweet, and she's a great artist to me. And I'm talking to Ulrika Müller, if I pronounce it right. And it's here with us, Ulrika. I want to welcome you to Conversation with My Artist Friends. So glad that you are here with us. Hello.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be invited. It's amazing to see you again.
Yeah, I think that last time we were talking together, it was almost a year ago, even more, while I
Yeah,
was in Tanzania for a little bit.
yeah.
Actually, I was there almost for 2 years, and we were talking about our beautiful hobby, not even hobby, but our passion. Sorry to say, it's much better to say passion, that it's
Yeah,
art.
yeah.
And we get to know each other many years back while
Mm,
we were joining this beautiful group of people during COVID time as
mm,
hyperrealistic and realism painters and artists, famous or not
mhm,
famous or beginners. And then we bond, like we had a kind of bond all together. And some of us
mm.
we kept in touch. Even the previous conversation with was with one of them, which is with Varzic, and now is with you, Ulrika.
Mhm.
The last time we were talking, like I was saying in Tanzania, it was amazing because we were talking about the conversation with artists, and you are supporting me in starting again, and now you are with me. And I want that you now introduce yourself to the public and say
Mm.
a bit of your story.
Well, so it's me. My name is Ulrika Müller. I'm a Swedish-born person. Uh, at the moment, I live in Sweden again with my family, but I've sort of I became an adult in London, in England, where I moved in 1998, um, because I was offered a job at a interior firm. The one of the owners there, she saw some of my paintings and thought that I could illustrate the technical drawings. And after that, she gave me a training so that I became an apprentice, an intern, an apprentice, um, and learned all the technical skills by the hand drawing. Um, and that left me a career where I've been working in interiors for many years in England. I also then decided to go to school there, and I went to Chelsea College and studied interior there. Um, so that's an amazing space to be within beauty, obviously, and amazing people, craftsmen who are so skilled at what they're doing. But inside of myself, I am an artist, a painter. That's where I started. I went to art school here before I went to England, and I've studied a few years in the in the normal schooling of painting, but I would call myself more of an autodidact. I've
Mm.
trained myself very much um, by observing and trying to find my path. And when we met uh, within that IBEX group,
Mm.
um, that was really my first time where I could sort of grasp and get in contact with people who who have all the skills that and developing all their skills that I was inclined to reach to myself.
Mm.
Um, and I didn't realize that that was what I was drawn to so much. I used to love all the intricate details of things and really try my hardest to manage to get my voice into this.
Sure.
Um, and now I kind of think that maybe I see that I have a different journey anyway. Maybe I'm not a complete maybe I'm not a complete
Um,
perfectionist. I think I need to mix it up with something else that's brewing inside me, and I try continuously new paths and new avenues. But I see that I always fall back into this very minute detailing, and that's really so interesting.
mm,
Um,
it
and
is.
I admire so much the skills of those people who have really nailed it.
Yeah.
Hmm. But but to really try and find a way to express what I want to express, I see that I need to do more. Maybe it's a form of abstract mixture within this that I'm toying with so much, um, and I think that I have so many various objects that I paint that I can't say that it's just the one thing.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't think that that's the important thing. I think the important thing is what's inside. That it just needs to break free somehow.
To get
I don't know.
out.
You probably know the feeling.
But I definitely, when you have a canvas in front of you, there is a demand, like
Yes,
want to
yeah.
make something really precious that really talk to me.
There is also a sense of how time elapses when painting. It just there seemed to be no time, but
Mm.
all of a sudden the day is over, and I can have been stuck there with creating an ear
Yeah.
for a day. I think it just I spend an awful lot of time trying to tweak things and get it just right because there is an inner vision of what I want to achieve. And funnily enough, all of a sudden it's finished. But that can take months.
Sure.
Mm. But that's also what's important is what's going on inside the head, and there is such a process with whatever happens in your life. It just sort of floats inside you while painting, and I think you have an idea of an image, and the emotional journey is what shows on the outside of the painting. It's very difficult to explain, but I think it's the choice of color, the rendering, the atmosphere that comes out is what is inside. At least for me, I have a picture that I think I want it to look like,
Mm.
even if it could be from a photographic
Mm.
image. I still find that at the end of the journey, the emotion has been plastered on top of the actual pre-image, if that makes any sense.
Makes a lot of sense. I understand you completely. I hear you. And but usually, what is the approach that you have when you want to start to paint? I mean, do you already set into your mind a kind of a palette? There is already kind of uh,
Mm. I
you
have a
able
clear
to.
idea, a
Mm,
really clear idea of what I want. Um, say a bear. Then
mm,
I know what I want, a bear in a dark forest. And then the journey begins of I can see it so clearly before it's not even done, but then it's all the struggles and how to get there, because there's always something that one thing leads to another, and I usually have a very plain palette with very few colors that I prefer to work instead of all the colors in the world. Um,
Mhm.
and therefore, that's also a kind of a challenge in itself to make those. You need to learn what mixes well and how they work together so that you can achieve the colors you want.
Sure.
Call it technical skills or technical, if not skills, then practice, seeing what has worked before, you know.
So
um,
my question is like, why realism? Why did you choose this language as an artist?
because I am a true perfectionist. If you see what I mean, it's not that it. I think other people might look at the things I do and they might not think that that's perfection to them, but it's got to do with I really want to try and do something and do it in such a way that I can't find them at the time where I am at the time. This is what I know, so I don't want to, I cannot do it any better at the time I am at. And I think also it's very much with my previous work, you know, it's by millimeter. You cannot make a mistake because all of a sudden the wall is skew or, you know, it's very, it has to be very neat and well done. Then obviously it's not for me to build it, but if I don't draw it right, someone else is not going to follow.
Sure.
And it's that challenge. I just love that challenge of sitting there and lose myself in this. But I also see that I have this urge right now to also break free a little bit from this and do some intermix. And I'm so excited to see what next I can create because I think that is my next step. Um, and I feel that where I'm at the moment, I've learned this and I needed to mix with something to make it a bit more wild or not so strict.
Mm-mm-mm.
And there are so many people that I see, they make such picture perfect things that oh, it's unbelievable. But
Yes,
I don't see that that is where I can take myself. Maybe I could, but I'm starting to feel that I'm losing the life. So I need to maybe find a way to
sure.
make this happen. Not my life, but the life in the picture. So it's not so too intricate.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean,
Um,
definitely when we look at the artists that they do hyperrealism, it is
mm,
very interesting. It is so fascinating
I
uh,
mean,
to see how they perform, how precise they are, and the outcome, it's glorious. Like really,
yeah,
some of them, they are super duper. I
yeah. It's supernatural almost.
supernatural, really.
Yeah,
But in the
yeah.
same time, sometimes you can see, from my point of view, that hyperrealism, it is really into us as a viewer, as an artist, as a painter, because we love to do experiment and to challenge our.
Yeah.
Then looking at the message that is beyond, like it's some of them they're very very impactful, like because many others that let's say I saw, this is just my point of view, they are just
Mm.
pictures. So for me or for you, what do you want to
Mm.
express more? Because it is the intricate part of the challenge as a technique or the message.
That's the technique side. I agree. And exactly what you're talking about is that you can be so fantastically good at painting, uh, and to add to that, to also then be able to transmit a storyline with this, it's another level. And some people do that gorgeously. However, for me, I feel that to be able to show my emotional journey and the things that I want to share or describe, or whatever it may be called, um, my through life journey. I think it carries through better when I just paint things that are maybe more fantastical, fantasy like made up colors of things that might not be true. It might
Mm,
not be the perfect color, but it might be the color I need to describe my thought.
sure.
Um, and I think we go through life, and at the time right now in my life, my children are no children any longer. They are young adults, and that turns another page where, for me, obviously, I need to look back at myself. Who am I now? Because I have been going through a lot of different phases, like we do.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, and are emotional ties to all these in your past, expectations for the future, and um, and a lot of the time I think about how to transmit my thoughts, uh, and what do people think when they see my painting? So do they get what I'm trying to say? Does it really matter? As long as I can just, I need it for me. I need to paint for me.
Sure.
And
Yes.
if that becomes a product that someone else ties to, I mean, then I have really succeeded, even if it happens only one time. Um, and most of the time, it's when I've least expected it, is when I've got a phone call of someone saying, "You are just the right person because I want you to paint my cat." Or, and that was one of my last commissioned works, was someone who had been following me and loved my nature themes, um, which are not really hyper realistic or realistic even. They are an impression. They're an expression of my impression of being, because I am a very outdoors person. And I'd like to take that feeling with me. What is it that I get from this? That's what I want to try to describe in my paintings. And so that's what they had seen, my forests, and they wanted to place their cat in my forest. And I thought it was such a fantastic starter starter project, because I'd had some time off that also made me feel really fretty, because I needed to work creatively again. Because last year, autumn last year, I had a fall, so I slipped on a pier and I fell into the water and injured myself on these pier ties of metal that keeps the boats in, and I broke my ribs and what do you call it, exploded my one kidney. So a freak accident. Luckily, I was with my daughter, for example, and she and some friends, and she helped me home. And later, I had to go to the A&E, and there was uh, and it really made me have to sit down a lot. And I'm also normally a very active person, so this gave me a lot of time, and a lot of time to re-establish my thinking in the arts world. So with all the impressions that I've collected, um, I realized I need to do something. I need to get away a little bit from the trying to make everything the way it looks, and try to use what I've learned in skills.
Sure. I
Yeah.
think there is a little bit of problem with our connection. I hope that it will be fine after,
Okay.
because I saw that it was a little bit like,
Frozen.
exactly. So, to go back to what you were saying, I remember very well when we were talking a year ago, and this was just happened, and it touched my heart because I was into the story. I heard the story, and it was like really, I felt really, really bad for you, and I cannot even imagine what you went through. So I'm sure the art, it was a part of your healing time.
Mm. Mm.
How does how did art help you to recover from that accident? If so.
I think because I needed to be still so much, and thankfully to so many social medias, um, it gave me a lot of opportunity to sit down and really look at lots of different types of art created by so many amazing artists. The list is too long. Um, but I think it made me also see what do other people try to describe? How can you describe things? Um, and and it just made me realize that there are so many people that are maybe in positions like myself who, for various reasons, or just the fact that they are not into creativity inside themselves, but they just looking and reading other people's journeys, um, it puts you somewhere out of yourself, and it makes you be able to see other people's joys, sufferings, ideas, um, and it's a great way also of just making time pass and educating yourself in different fields, because it shows cultural changes. It shows so many aspects that you cannot have inside you yourself. We are only one person. um, yeah, I found it very interesting and educating for me to be able to take that time. And then I started eventually getting so bored and that I needed to start sketching away. Um, and I'm really quite into things like things like say that you are out on a walk and you happen to see a fox, and every day you see this fox, and all of a sudden you think, but why, what is it, why do I always see this fox? Does it have any meaning? And that's something that I think, not so much the fox in itself, but there are some cultures who have this as something, what shall I say? It's a symbol, a symbolism that the fox symbolizes something that you need to find within yourself, or that you need to be receptive of. Um, and and as soon as you start learning about this, all of a sudden you realize, hang on, there is something with that, the storyline around the fox that actually has a connection with me. I don't know if it's these cultures, if they are so knowledgeable about things like this, but I've seen that if I look into it, for me it does ring a bell, and it does have connection. Um, so, for example, I painted this quite wacky painting. It's a very, very large painting, um,
Mhm.
of two egrets. And at this time, so my son was not living with us very much because he went to studies in a different town. And and with that, he's also growing up into his own person and so on. And obviously, with what I said previously, that as we grow and as the family changes, our ties changes because they become their own person, and it leaves you behind as a mother.
Yes.
Um, and reading about this in some kind of other culturalism, I realized that the egret was a symbol for emotions that I then somehow I could create a picture that for me is a symbol of this time and about the emotions I had,
Mm.
the the family bonds that are very fluctuant, and you have to
Yes.
allow that, and I have to allow that, and the egrets were such a it's such a, what shall I say, bizarre looking bird. Kind of
Hmm.
something from, it almost looks something Jurassic. Uh,
Really?
it was, it became fun. It became a fun project of colors that I decided on that also has emotional bearing with peachy tones, contrast, purple, deep purples, and light lavenders. Things I don't usually take on. I
Mm-mm.
took on this challenge, a challenge of changing and accepting new ways, and I thought, well, this is such a bizarre painting. It's not. I'm gonna have to put it in my cupboard. And actually, then that was accepted to a great big show in a completely brand new culture house opening in one of Sweden's largest cities. I just thought, hey, I can apply with this
Yeah.
crazy idea, and it actually became for me an eye opener that maybe it doesn't matter, you just have to be, like you say, you just have to be so true with your feelings and
Yeah.
to dare be that in the
Yeah,
art.
probably maybe this painting that it was really you were so into the flow,
Mm.
you felt like this is really resonates with you, and this is really a kind of your signature, kind of
Yes, I think I'm
represent you
finding.
mostly more than others
Mm.
could be.
Mm. And I think that doing this painting, I knew that I would, now I am doing that intricate, really intricate things, but it didn't have to lead to be uh, realistic. It didn't
Yeah,
have to. It just had to be well made,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so that I felt a sense of achievement. But stepping back and looking at the great picture, I feel that there is nothing there that I can go, oh, that doesn't look right, because it doesn't matter. The colors are completely bonkers anyway, and the background is just the way it is. But it made me feel free again.
So yes,
Mm.
yeah, yes,
And it
probably.
made me lose the tension of having to work so hard trying to learn to become photographic, because I saw that that is not really where I can find the
Or maybe
find my best
it's not,
strength.
yeah, yeah, yes, yes, yes. Yeah, which is very important because you can like it as much as you want, but then if this is not part of you, then it has to come out what is your inner,
Yeah,
your inner side, which
yeah,
probably the paintings that you have behind you, which is you, your portrait
yeah.
of your husband.
Hmm.
I mean, you can also explain what happened while you were painting this too, and the palettes you use, the shadows and lights that you. I mean, I would like because these are technically, from a point of view. I mean, there is a lot of technique, and it will be nice if you can explain what you did while you were painting a little bit, or just give us a little bit of some insight about them.
Yes. So they both have the sort of Renaissance look. I've tried, uh, where I also have become very sort of stuck in the detail and needing it to really make sense. To that the light has to, if the light comes from this, the light has to come from this angle. It cannot then look wrong. So, but then obviously the colors are not maybe perfect. It's very strong shadows,
Yeah.
but I wanted to make us as the couple. I wanted also to use the colors, the attribute of the color as something, not you were all wearing colors of different levels at this time.
Mhm.
Uh, but I wanted them to sort of represent us as well a little bit. The colors were of finer people, but we are also very hardworking, normal people. But we are all fine. We are all finer people. We all have worth and values, and that's why I also used little the sort of little bit frayed in the ends. Mine
I
is a
see.
little bit, it's not crispy white, you know, it is just the way life is. We are a part of life. And I just thought that I wanted to do something that's a bit fun, a fun way of painting us together, but separate. We have our own picture, we have our own
Love them.
portrait.
They are so beautiful, really.
Oh, thank you. It was a very fun project to do, and well, yeah, I don't know. It's very shiny. Perhaps there are
Yeah,
they are
but I
lacquered, so
love.
they might be difficult to see.
No, no, like this, I can see it very well, and I really like the way you painted them because definitely it's not the Renaissance serious look, and this is
No.
very contemporary, but very well done because the shadows and the colors and the palettes it shows who is behind, let's say.
Mm,
The artist that painted at that time, it want to show a kind of alignment between them, a kind of even let's say a connection, no, the deep connection to be almost the same but separate. So
but separate, exactly. I think that's exactly what I tried to achieve, and I love them very much. They would not be painted. Should I paint something again? I wouldn't paint it the same way. But I think that there is something with this now that I've discovered that I've made so many paintings, and I see that I have a favor in myself of using very strong contrasts, which are not always flattering.
mm.
Lots of people say sometimes, "Oh, but you painted a portrait of yourself, but you look so old." And and then I say, "Well, I haven't tried to paint a painting of myself to make myself look well made up with makeup and all smooth. I'm painting a portrait of myself that is me. I have obviously maybe turned my head to a side and there are shadows that I'm honest with. And maybe some of the shadows actually come from within me because
Exactly.
that's a portrait of me.
Yeah.
Not a photographic picture that I can go and have perfect lighting and my daughter making amazing makeup because that's she's really good at. It's
Really.
it's a painting that is inside of me that needs to be shown.
Yeah.
So that is what a self-portrait to me is. And these are self-portraits almost because it's a portrait of a relationship. It's a portrait of my emotions of to my husband.
It is very clear, the message to me. It's very clear. But I can see even the strokes like the that used on these paintings.
Mm.
And could be very interesting to understand the process while you were doing this and technically like why did you decide to make it so let's say um, they are not strong, but they are very with a lot of personality. I think the color you used and the contrast that you made is on purpose, or it happened while you were painting and you decided
No,
painting.
no, they don't happen because there is a plan. I like to use, uh, there's a very limited palette, even if it doesn't look like it. I use maybe 5 or 6 colors at the most. But with the intermixing, you create obviously a rainbow of colors, shadings, and so on. And it's a toying between very cold and bluey tones and more warmer tones. Um, from the light, yeah, it can be a sort of a way of seeing it. That's the light that was at the moment, but it's also a way of portraying how sometimes it is warm and cold. that is a part of life as well. And to be able to put all of this in a canvas, it's like some other people are very good at writing a story. This is my way of writing a story. It's more cryptical, obviously, because it's not told. You have to use your own language to interpret art.
Yes.
Um, and someone can paint something, and I look at it and go, "Oh, wow, they painted a tomato." And it's not a tomato, but it's what I thought I saw.
Yeah.
So
That's, this is the art is always on the eyes of the beholder. So it depends
it
always what
is,
is
yeah.
looking at the pieces of the paintings. Now, I want to ask you something completely different now. Let's jump to something that is not about technique or just to be an artist, because in the end, we are friends. We are here to understand a little bit what happened in our life while we are trying to make the art part of our even to become professional, let's say, okay, instead
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
because even me, I went through so many different kind of jobs. I done hospitality for many years and I have no regrets because I learned a lot, and I did a lot of small exhibition even in these places, well, you have to hang out, hang one of your piece and this and that. But obviously it's not my profession. Like, I'm not a
yeah,
professional painter. I would love to be one day,
yeah.
eventually, maybe next life, because the time is running. So, but I would like to understand, even for you, because I mean, we are not doing this as a profession, like it's not our profession, and it will be
Sadly.
so, what is your regret, or maybe even maybe not really regret, but what you can say to yourself if you were like 20 years, if you look at yourself 20 years back, like would you like to push yourself to do something different, to become maybe professional painter, or maybe do you think there is still room? I'm sure there is, but what is your insight about it? Maybe to one day just to have your income as an artist.
Um, well, first, I'm so this this new world that we live in with AI uh, recreating anybody's wishes. Really, I find I find mm, I find it being a bit of a challenge, because you can, it seems, I don't understand it well. I'm not even very interested in these things. I'm such an analog person, but it seems to be able to recreate what you ask. Whether if it can then, as I previously said, if it can add emotion to it, I don't know. I don't think so. I hope not. But I I would love to be able to support myself as an artist. I would absolutely love to do that. Um, I have a extremely supporting husband. We work oftenly. We work as a team, where we have been uh, owning a building company together for a long time. But I have a very small part of that, doing some drawings when needed, since that is my previous profession. I have been doing various jobs to add to my economy, because at times we need more. We all do. Um, and every so often, when I do well within the arts and do sell, I have been able to come to a place where I can ask money for my paintings.
Yeah,
That can be really a great addition to the finance. But it's unfortunately not on an even basis where I can trust this. Um, but it's at least it's not such a big question when I say how much does this cost? Well, this is the price. Okay, and the person pays without questions or strange how can that cost that much? Well, it's taken me 3 months. What would you charge for 3 months of work? It's respected instead. So that's a first few. um, but if I could tell myself at a younger, having to learn more from working within other fields, I've understood that um, well, I should have had a different approach in my younger days. Maybe a more, if not serious approach, but maybe I should have trusted the journey more. But I think that the art world is a very it's a very difficult path to take.
Mm.
Very few people manage to succeed. Some succeed with creating uh, landscape paintings. Some people work very fast and can produce a lot.
Mm.
We are all so different. All artists are so different, and our it's not like we all need food. So if you sell food, it's it's a necessity. But art is not. But we all need art. We would die without it. We need music. We need all the impressions to further our soul and our person. So, but very few people understand that they have to pay for this. So or they do know that they have to pay for it, and it's not their food. They need food more than art. So I think I would have had to have had a different, maybe professional approach in my learning journey. But there's also, I think that it's very hard because when you're in art school, you are there learning so much and you put your soul so much out every day, and it's not something that anyone really can teach you. You can get you can learn how to use the material, but the rest has to come from within yourself. And then to find your market, well, that's a completely different, and that's a marketing strategy that is not really the common knowledge in art schools, at least not the time I started art school. So there is another thing I think needed to be on the curriculum on how economically are you going to succeed in this world. Um, and I think that it takes time to find your voice,
Mm.
and the skills that you need takes different people different time, and also you evolve, so that it's an evolving journey. Um, so it's difficult to say what I would have done because I don't really regret all the other things because those are also a part of me, and
Definitely.
I love so much the to do technical drawings is something that I'm also very passionate about, but it's a very different. I mean, it's very you can be very full of imagination because you have to have that to create something beautiful, and get over a lot of problematics. You need to understand the type of math almost. And math is not really my biggest subject on a different view. But this I kind of grasp, and I do it, I think, because it's a three-dimensional object almost. It's a
Mhm.
spatial thing. And I think that it has added to my art, but they are not the same, even though they're
Mm.
both very creative. Um, but
So, yeah, it looks like, I mean, definitely there are no regrets because I think in our life, everything is worth it. Like, and
yeah,
even the job as interior, for example, is such an artistic job. There is a lot of creativity involved. And I'm sure a lot of clients, they need also art because many they buy pieces of art and maybe there is a kind of way to let other to get to know you. So
mm,
definitely it's an artistic job.
it
It's
can
not
maybe
really,
interesting.
it's creation. Not,
Mm.
I do believe, as my point of view, that if I can say something to myself, I can say to Georgia, probably maybe you need to perform a little bit more, to
Yeah,
create more, to keep going, keep producing, keep learning, keep staying there, keep believing. And then
yeah,
eventually, slowly, slowly, probably I was probably getting better technique, improving my eye, because more you do, more
yeah,
your vision it start to grow, and you start to see errors that you didn't see before, or
yeah, of course.
you completely open your mind. So I think there is a huge part of at the end, to be an artist, to be a painter, it's a commitment.
It is a commitment, I
Really.
think, and I think you're right. You need to practice, you need to see, but also you, like you said, you have to produce. You have to produce a lot because to buy art, if I look at it from that aspect, um, it also has a value. So you want, I think it's like a collector person. You want to buy something that is a part of something, and the more an artist produce, the more little facets of yourself you are giving out, so that the collector can feel that I have a little something out of that, and then they like another artist and they have a little something, and
Yeah.
it all is a piece of them, because the person buying, they buy something that they want to feel connection with, that has a meaning, not only maybe as a object on to grace a wall.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I wish that many, many people in the world that were art lovers to understand that in the end we need art, but also I think art as something to do as for the kids, the toys, like toys when you
Mm.
are a kid and you want to buy a toy, because it's colorful. It's really the toy that I want to perform my stories when I'm baby. And then in the end, when we are adults, we just like to collect art or pieces
Mm.
that are around our space in the living room, in the bathroom, some of them,
Mm.
wherever, because it gives you this kind of space. It gives you joy. It gives you depth. It gives you whatever beauty.
Yeah, beauty, a sense of satisfaction, even the art that is really, because there is some art, that I think that it's so emotionally strong, it's almost frightening.
Yeah.
People who paint their deepest demons almost, but
Mm.
even that connects with somebody, and it's very needed for someone's journey as well. It's the journey of creating it and getting it awareness or out of yourself, and
Yeah.
just to be able to maybe heal.
Yeah.
Um, and some people paint joyful things, balloons. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's
It's
an
all a part of
expression,
it.
as you
Yeah.
said, because I think when you are aligned with your personality, with your insight, then
Mm,
you get out on canvas what is you. So obviously, if you are a joyful person, it's expressed on your canvas that it's
mm,
like yours. This is exactly the expression of who you are as a person, and put it on your canvas. And it says a lot about the artist behind. So, and the same for, I don't know, probably, I mean, when I look even at to abstract work, sometimes I get goosebumps, and they are not the
yeah.
details, and you cannot say that you can see the eyes or portraits or a skin tone. No, these are our technical part that we love to see and to look at. When we go to see even masters at museum, we like to go there and check
Yeah.
and try to understand what they were doing at that time. No, it's also an abstract that can gives you really
Yeah.
such a profound satisfaction, when you
Yeah.
see it and you say, wow, what a color, what a structure,
Exactly.
what.
I
That,
couldn't agree more. And I think those things can be so, they can be on the technical skills. You can start seeing how could they build up layers, or just, aha, I can use those colors in something that I'm fabulating to create. But it can also be something that you sit for hours just looking at some, could it be a landscape or what is it? That
yeah,
is not the most important thing. That question is not what is it, is maybe not the important. It's the atmosphere, like you said. It's what grasps you.
exactly.
And I think that's something that I am inclined to get to know in myself a bit more, to
Mm,
to be able to find a bridge or a link between something a bit more that,
mm.
and to add that to the things that I've worked so hard and put so many hours on trying to learn how to paint strands of hair, or I don't know, eyelashes or something. And then I'm seeing that I think this is not exactly my journey. I think my journey is much more to try and evoke something in who looks at my art, and can I then express correctly to make people want to connect with me or my creations. I think that's my next challenge, um,
Mm,
to become a bit more abstract.
mm.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand. I hear you. Yes, I understand what you mean.
But who knows? That can be a short phase as well, and then I'm falling straight back into the the hours of
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
this. Um, but also something else that has been on my mind is the fact that however inspired I have become, the more I discover artists that are fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, it's also one of these, I think, the devil in the social media is that you see so many things, and I cannot be all that.
Mm.
Uh, I don't have all the skills all those people have. One person has their skills, another person
Yeah,
has their
yeah.
skills, and I have my skills that I'm working on, and I need to accept the fact that I have only so many hours in my day to practice and to perform my idea.
Mhm.
And I think that that's typical of this time. There's too much. I at so many times just think I need to just cut out myself completely from the social media world.
Yeah. Social media can be very overwhelming.
Yeah, I think so.
It's
Um,
not really I mean, if you need to eat to really find yourself, I think the last things you could do is to scroll on social media,
yeah,
because you get really overwhelmed and you will
yeah,
not be able to completely be free, to feel
yeah.
free, because you will start to judge yourself, which is the last things that you can do to yourself to perform better.
It's not very productive anyway. I mean, it's great to be able to look, and it's, I mean, it's like 1,000 courses
Yeah.
that you can go in one day. but but when none of them, you cannot, in the one day you cannot practice what you've seen.
Mm.
So it becomes, like you said, it's overload, and to be able to actually make any of that into any of what you've been inspired to, if you need time to put that in your own focus and in your own skill set,
Mm.
uh, because we're all at different levels, and you just cannot take in all this. You need to practice it and make it yours. All your ideas, you need to make it yours. Who knows, are any of our ideas your own any longer, because there's just so much input.
Uh,
um,
So, Rika, let me ask you this. You moved from London and now you are in
Mm.
Sweden. Okay, so now,
Mm.
as far as I know, probably you are going to move again, probably back in London.
It's likely. It's likely. I mean, I've lived there for nearly 20 years. Um, and we decided on moving to Sweden because we wanted the children to grow up sort of in the country.
Yeah.
Of course, there is countryside in England as well, but I am not from there. My husband is from South Africa, um, but he's also grown up very much sort of more of a country
Mhm.
style, if I say. And here it's very safe. Um,
Mhm.
it's it's got all the different seasons, you know. It's very wintry, you have lots of snow in the summer times. We live in a place where the children can bicycle to school, they can go swimming in their leisure time even when they were little. But now they've become young adults and they're on their own path in
Mhm.
life. So my daughter is going to graduate this spring from college, and then it's uni next. So her life is really at its
There is a call.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And then I need to be able to find back to my own, the space that is mine, the time that is mine.
Yeah.
um and it feels like a natural being.
Yeah. So do you
um
think
yeah.
it will uh, no, let's say it's not help you, but do you believe that maybe a country like UK and London could be more aligned with your art and to express yourself, or could be the same as you are now?
No, I think I have been painting living in London as well, but living here has given me, it was also moving here, it was with the promise to begin with, that which I have been. I have produced so much paintings here in the time we lived here for 10 years now. So I've painted so much and I've grown so much as an artist. I found a fantastic community where I met you,
Yeah.
uh, which is not a country community, it's a world community with people that I mean, I would never expect to have met some of the people I've met there. Um, and some of us keep in touch more close, some not so much, you know. And that's thanks to social media, obviously, and the COVID times. How bizarre. Um, and also the nearness to actually be here where it's so near nature. Um, that I step out of the front door and I'm in the forest,
Mhm.
literally, and on a big lake straight away. So oh, I see. I need electric for the computer. Oh no. Um, um, yes. So I think that that's done me very good. It's done me very good. But I think as naturally as it seems now, time might be changing, and it can be the window for me to also be closer to culture, because here, living here, it's culture is not on your doorstep. Nature is, but museums, art worlds, galleries, they are not.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's a journey you have to take.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's always something to take in consideration, even where we live, to to express and to to be a little bit more excited, even to perform, or even to share with others, and to connect with them much more people than definitely
Yeah,
inside.
yeah,
So it's understandable that you would like to probably move back in a big city like London, or you to
yeah.
UK. And there is anything that you are preparing for the future? There is something that new project that you have in your mind,
Yes, I
something
do
that
have
you
a
want to
project in
paint,
mind.
you
I
want
do have.
to.
I was very inspired. My daughter and I went to London quite recently, and I went to we went to the Natural History Museum for one of the days out, and there was things I saw that made me very inspired. So I'm kind of working. I'm developing ideas, and I'm working on a sort of a bit of a themed new. I'd like to try out some new colors and.
Mm.
Mm. So we'll see, but it's all coming.
Okay, it seems
It's
like
in the
you.
pipeline.
Yeah, okay. We keep this as a little bit of secret. Maybe we will talk again one
Yes, I hope
time
so.
later on, maybe to see what happened between now 2025. It's almost done. So
It
probably
is.
2026 we will have another time to talk about, maybe to see what happened between
Yeah,
this frame of period and to tell me what's going on in your life in this time.
yeah, and likewise. Yeah.
Likewise. So I think almost our time, even because I don't want your computer shut off like
Yeah,
suddenly.
I'm scared because I realized I didn't have the cable here.
So it looks like our time it's done, and definitely always talking to you it's magical because you are such a person, so sweet and so nice that is lovely to talk with you. And I'm really looking forward for the next project and to talk again about art and about family and about the art interior as well.
Oh, yeah, it's so nice speaking with you as well. I'm so glad we managed to hook up now.
Sure, me too, me too. So at the moment, it's only me that I'm thanking you, and so big thank you for being my guest. It was an honor, and definitely for all the people that they are looking at this interview, would like to say please, if you like this video and you like what we do here, please like, share, and subscribe because. This challenge need your help big time. So we are new here, and we hope that these conversations are so insightful for so many people. Thank you, Ulrika. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.